Weapon models have been good for a long time. Going back over 10 years ago to Halo Reach, we see designs that do more than just look good, we actually see functionality. The heat shield and magazine tube on the shotgun tells us a lot about it. The Needler rifle may be alien, but there's some logic going on here. The volatile crystals are fed through the break action feeding system, and closing said system seems to deform the crystal into the deadly projectile shards we know and love. A more grounded game like Insurgency can show us a very believable, lifelike M16A2. The weapon controls above the magazine, the charging handle, and the iconic iron sights. But let's take this even further back to 2001. The M4 and MGS2 holds up pretty damn well. The sights, charging handle, everything we just talked about are still so easily recognizable. So today we're going back to when weapon models were more so ambiguous blocks that required imagination, detailed menu descriptions, and suspended disbelief rather than identifiable weapon models. Today's about the exceptions. Today we're talking about PS1 guns with sexy modeling. The first pick is easily the weakest but worth talking about nonetheless. This is Dino Crisis 2, a game not spoken of nearly enough. It has a solid arcadey third-person shooter gameplay loop, complex, strong cutscenes, and a merchant weapon upgrade system that set the foundation for what would define Resident Evil from 2005 to 2017. There is more going on here than any PS1 game has any business having, which is why I am more forgiving over the rough model work on the dual-wielded MP5Ks. There's some detail on the gun, but not enough to envision the functionality. However, the iconic profile at the end of the barrel and curved magazine shape, which is really hard to create on PlayStation 1s by the way, do make these recognizable as MP5Ks. And with all this game has going on, I find these models pretty impressive. Oh hey, take a look at that, it's my favorite publisher again. Resident Evil 2 1998 is possibly the most impressive sequel ever made, taking everything from Resident Evil 1996 and doing it better. One of the things that I love about this game are of course the weapon models. There are good and bad examples here. But the most impressive to me is Claire, the most relatable Resident Evil character, and her single action army. This is a complex gun, however the game manages to fit its intricate details into the actual model. Of course you have the barrel and the cylinder, but you also have the extractor rod. On top of this, the textures are stable, which on PS1 isn't really commonplace. Easily the best PlayStation 1 looking pistol for me. You may be surprised to see a Nintendo 64 game here, since most Nintendo 64 games are in-house Mario games. However, Winback gives Dino Crisis 2 a run for its money as the best third-person shooter of that console generation. While the handgun and SMG look rough, the shotgun is so surprisingly identifiable as the Spaz 12. The distinct shape of the pump, the iconic stock, and the intimidating barrel profile, it's all here. This gun gets a lot of extra points over a lot of the other contenders I was considering for this list, because this comes from a game made on a weaker console, yet the gun looks so much better than any PlayStation 1 shotgun I have ever seen. MGS1 is insanely impressive for a PlayStation 1 game. The console is being pushed to its absolute limit when you start this bad boy up, so it's crazy how good some of these models are. My favorite is of course the G1 FAMAS, one of the coolest looking guns modeled great in one of the coolest games. The trigger guard, the charging handle, the carrying handle, how they managed to feature such great details into the in-game model without the PS1 imploding with everything else Metal Gear Solid 1 has going on is beyond me. There are even unique flashlight variants for some of the enemies' FAMASes. The reload animation is also pretty impressive. Parasite Eve 2 is inferior to its predecessor in every regard except for its visuals. Just look at these guns! While the pistols can still be very ambiguous PS1 kinda shaped, the long guns fare a lot better. Take the M4A1 for example. This gun is without a doubt the best modeled gun on any PS1 game I've ever seen. The sights including the front sight post, the grip serrations, the stock, hell there's even attachments that are fully modeled like the bayonet. This weapon is just a couple polygons away from being featured in Metal Gear Solid 2. So that's it. I like to appreciate what people can achieve in artistic mediums when there are clear limitations. And I'm not just talking about 5th console generation style, because there are games that are like that being made today, and the models are insane quality. Take a look at any of the guns from Signalis, and they'd put any of the guns on this list to shame. I'm specifically talking about what game designers can achieve when the odds are stacked up against them, when innovation needs to be bred from necessity. So yeah, if you worked on any of these designs and somehow arrived on this video, good job. Decades later, your amazing work is still seen and appreciated. Anyways, you guys let me know what your favorite modeled 5th generation console game weapons are. This has been Pliskin. Over and out.
This is Solid Snake. Hey, subscribe to Pliskin Boy. God damn it.
You heard him.